Fresh out of Target, we have the WWE Mattel Series 10 Legends Big Van Vader, the version of Vader from his WCW debut in 1990 at the Great American Bash. Also, I believe a look he used in Japan. Yes, that cool little headpiece came with the previous Vader. I have a previous Vader, but I don't actually have the headpiece that came with it. There is the new head sculpt of the early debut of Vader. And there's, of course, the mask with the, I believe, the old head sculpt of Vader. Maybe a little bit touched up here if you want to do a more traditional Vader. Also, extra set of hands. I believe this thing streeted a little bit early. I was told online that it wasn't supposed to be available to the 25th, but Target in Chattanooga had it out already. Me and my friend was down there. They had two of them, so luckily we didn't have to fight to the death for them or anything like that. But of course, they didn't have none of these. They just had two Vaders. So I assume something happened and they just put Vader out, because why would you not have these? Because I think Vader would probably be like the more popular one out of this bunch. I could be wrong. But this is from when Vader beat Z-Man at the 1990 Great American Bash. Just by looking at it in the pack so far, though, I think it's more or less the same body sculpt as the old Vader, although I think the part that bends right there is a little bit different. The rest of it kind of looks the same, but we'll take it out and we'll see for sure. Now, first of all, with Vader here, I think you're going to notice that this head sculpt with the mask on looks a whole lot better than the previous incarnation of Vader that came with that. There's that, as you can see. Here's the new one. Looks a whole lot better. If you want the helmet to fit properly on Vader, I think you're going to have to take this mask off and just use like the bare head Vader on the body. But, you know, that's a preference thing. Me personally, I'm kind of going for the whole 90s Vader thing, so that's probably what I'll use. Extra set of hands, which appears to be the same set of hands that was on the previous figure I just showed you. But that's that. Here he is in his thing. And see, that kind of wants to ride up on him a little bit. You can kind of see, like, there, that kind of looks cool, but it still wants to ride up on him a little bit. So you may want to switch heads if you want his eyes to poke out of the hose properly there. Otherwise, it's a cool Vader. Like I said, the traditional debut Vader with this black mask that covered up most of his face. I still think most of these parts are used from the previous one. The only thing, like, you know how the Mattel figure's been, so I'm not going to go through all of that. And everything's tied except for this little chest area here, which is super loose. For some reason, it seems like these things are a lot looser than they used to be here lately. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to pause the video and switch the head so you can see it, just so you can get a look about what that looks like. Here is what he looks like with the other head. I kind of prefer the other one over this one, although I'm sure this gives people some WCW or Japan vibes, but it's not a bad look. It's a good sculpt. It looks way more better is that a word? But it looks better than the other one, I think. But yeah, that is pretty cool. All in all, I like this Vader from the Legends line. Kind of wish the eyes would poke through the mask a little bit better there, or the big helmet here, but it's a cool looking figure. It's going to look cool on display, so check your targets, and maybe you can get there before all the scalpers get there, or the inside job people that like to get the figures and sell them before any of us get a chance to get them. But go look now, because I'm sure this is going to be super hard to get pretty soon.